Well, hello. I hope my outfit doesn't confuse you and make you think that there was some sort of time jump from our last video to this one. However, it is just simply November 1st and it went from 85 degrees yesterday to 44 degrees today. So that is why I look like a blue Michelin man. It's very cold out today and just very gross out. It's that like unseasonable cold. Normally here in central Missouri when we're in the 40s, it's beautiful out. You want to be outside, and it is wet because we got a bunch of rain 2 days ago and it is very cold. So we're outside right now. Andrew is going to leaf blow the rest of the black mat off to get all the leaves off of it. The wind has finally subsided, so we're able to do that. And then I am officially going to go through and harvest all of our herbs because I think we are going to lose most of them. So I'm going to harvest all those, and then I'm going to go inside and make some pesto and a few different things. And I think I finally want to show you guys how to make a sourdough starter because I talked about that a couple of days ago. So I'm going to bring you guys into the kitchen with me today at some point. But right now I am going to get those herbs harvested and get inside because I hate it. It's too cold. So I'm going to go inside. So I'm over at our herb bed. I have cilantro, I have dill, opal basil, old lettuce, and some dwarf basil that all need to go. So I'm going to harvest a bunch of this stuff and then get it inside and myself inside. Basil. Okay, let's kind of see. Look at that. Okay, opal basil is done. Time for the dwarf basil. Okay, well, we have basil. We have all that opal basil underneath here, and this is all the dwarf basil. I went ahead and took most of it out. It smells so good. Kind of smells like bubble gum in a weird way. I don't know what that is. Anyways, but I'm going to get this inside, and I think I'm going to turn most of it into pesto. And then, like I said earlier, I think I want to show you guys how to make sourdough starter. So we're going to head into the kitchen and get some stuff done in there.
So I just ran outside really quick because we have a nasty storm coming through, and we just put some fresh straw and hay out by the garden. So I wanted to cover that up. And I just wanted to show you really quick how beautiful these seedling beds are looking. Look, man, aren't they looking so good? I love it. Okay, well, good evening. I am in the kitchen because we have had dinner and Andrew just left for work a little bit ago, and I need to clean the kitchen from dinner. There's stuff everywhere. So I'll clean that up. And I have all that stuff that we harvested. I have all the herbs. I have a lot of tomatoes, peppers, etc. that have all been harvested that I need to preserve. So I'm not sure where I'm going to start, but I think I'm going to start with the herbs and get the dehydrator filled up. Say hello, Charlotte. You guys, I want you to meet Charlotte. She's named after Charlotte Flair from WWE. She's the best. You guys will get used to her. She likes to go on her harness with us out in the greenhouse. Yeah, she's the best. Okay, anyways, sorry. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get the dehydrator filled. And then I also wanna show you guys all the cans that I've preserved and kind of how I have my storage set up. But I need to get this kitchen clean first, so I'm gonna clean up from dinner really fast. Okay, I got the kitchen relatively picked up. So I guess we are ready to destroy it again. So this string of lights, I'm not like a Christmas person, particularly Halloween is my jam, but I actually have this up year round, and it went out yesterday. It went out finally. It had like different color twinklers on it, and I just like it at night when I'm in here preserving. And so I pulled it down and then found I had a plain white string of lights in the basement. So I put it back up and I put the string lights in it. I don't know. Something about my ADHD just likes the twinkle, I guess. I don't know. But I got that back up. So now I'm going to get set up for preserving. I'm going to get like a whole station set up. So I'm going to get all my supplies together. Okay, so I got my table set up with all my goodies. I think I'm going to start by emptying the dehydrator. I don't know what's in there. I think I have some catnip and maybe some mullein. So I'm going to get that out, and then I'm going to fill it back up with some of this basil. Yep, catnip for the girls. So I've got 2 rows of catnip in here, and this is some mullein from the backyard. So really quick, while I'm over here, I figured I would show you guys kind of my setup. We got these shelves from Sam's, I think, probably like a year ago now. And I was struggling with keeping some sort of like aesthetic in my kitchen. But I decided this makes my life easier, putting these industrial shelves in here. Our house is just around 800 square feet. We have a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and our kitchen is really nice size. There's not a lot of counter space, but there is a lot of like open space, which I like. And we have this whole wall here, and the other side takes you down to the basement. So it's just kind of dead space. So I figured, why not, you know? So we added the industrial shelves in here, and I have all of our basics up here. Our toaster oven that just died, so I need to get a new one. If anyone has any recommendations, it's actually harder than you think to find a good toaster oven, but toaster oven. My dehydrator, I use the Septree dehydrator. Honestly, just partnered with them a while ago, and that's why I decided to get it, and I've actually loved it. I had a previous one from Vego and did not love it at all. I personally have learned that I prefer a dehydrator that has a fan in the back, because then it blows the trays evenly. The one I had before, the fan was underneath, and so like the bottom tray would get really clean, really dry, but it would take longer for it to work through the top, and I would have to like rotate trays. It was annoying. So I have this guy, and then just miscellaneous cooking stuff. And then in here is kind of where I have a lot of our canned items that I've done. Some of the stuff is experimental. I last year decided to try out making some canned chicken, just like chicken breast, and it is disgusting. So like some of this stuff we're just feeding to the pigs, and they're very happy about it. If you have followed me on Instagram, I often will share my pie recipes. This is an apple butter apple pie filling that I canned. I know people are going to yell at me because the ring is on it. I just canned these recently, and I just forgot to take the lid all the way off, so please don't yell at me. You will see those on there. You don't need them on there. You shouldn't really keep them on there necessarily. And then I have a lot of our like hot sauces over here. I've got all kinds of like pickled jalapenos. This is a peach habanero. I told you guys I had so many habaneros. We have probably 5 or 6 jars of this already on top of everything we have over there. I've got like apple jelly here. This is peach jam, cranberry juice. I love making juices. Those are really fun and easy to make if you've never canned before. Cranberry sauce, which is really nice. But yeah, I'm not going to take you guys through everything, but that's a lot of that stuff. And then over on this side over here is going to be a lot of my herbalism and like apothecary stuff. I have different herbs that we've grown that I've dehydrated. I have all my essential oils in here. I have a lot of my carrier oils. So I have like jojoba oil, avocado oil, etc. And then I have some of the infusions I've made. So like this is a goldenrod plantain oil. So I made that. I need to strain that actually soon. Oh, this one is citronella oil that I'm making. I just put this in last month, and it is so dark already. It is so concentrated. It's beautiful. But I have a huge citronella plant in the greenhouse, and this was like 2 leaves of it. So I'm gonna have a lot of citronella. So yeah, and then the bottom 2 shelves are just storage for empty cans, my pressure canner, etc. So yeah, that's kind of my workstation. So I am going to go ahead and get the dehydrator filled up with some of that basil so we can get that going. So my plan right now is to make a lot of different things. Obviously, I don't want to make a bunch of the same thing, but I do want to make a good amount of pesto. We go through quite a bit of it. However, my main goal with preserving is to make stuff shelf stable. I really don't like to have stuff in the fridge and freezer. So my friend Vicky gave me the idea to dehydrate the basil and dehydrate some garlic and then pulverize them together and make like a pesto powder. And then when I go to use it, all I have to do is add like the oil and cheese and nuts, etc., and mix it all together. So I'm probably going to do that too. So I was thinking about, with all these habaneros, you guys gave me such good suggestions, and a few that really stood out to me were making like a habanero salt. So dehydrating the peppers and then putting them in a food processor to powder them out and mix them with salt for like a spicy salt. So I'm going to do that. And then I was thinking what I might do is dehydrate a few of the different peppers and then grind them down and mix them together and just make like a pepper powder. So a lot of dehydrating is going to be happening. So everyone has preference, but I personally do not dehydrate the spicy peppers in the house. I feel like you can smell it in the air and it like makes my nose itchy and for the animals and stuff. So I'm actually going to plug in my old dehydrator in the garage and then get that one filled up with the peppers out there. And then I'll use this one in the house to do the basil. So I'm going to get them filled up now. So we actually grow our own catnip for the girls, for Charlotte and Becky. They enjoy it quite a bit. So we have a few pots of it growing in the greenhouse, and then we have a little bit outside. We grow catnip and catgrass both for them. They love it. But what I'm doing right now is I dehydrated this catnip a few days ago. It's just been sitting in the dehydrator. Oh well. And so I'm taking it now and I'm putting it in their little jar that I have. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this mullein in a jar. And then we are going to fill all these trays up with this basil that's over here. It's already starting to get kind of wilted from sitting in the house today. So I'm going to get that taken care of. Plus Charlotte keeps laying down in it. So I need to get it taken care of. So I'm going to get this busted out real quick. So I just set up this little table. It's just like a little card table in here because we don't have any sort of island or anything. We've considered it because there is a space for it, but everything is so small in here. It's kind of nice having the open walking space. So if you guys weren't here, I would be just doing this probably in the living room, watching TV, honestly, while I did it. But because you guys are hanging out with me, I'm going to do it in the kitchen and be a little more organized than I usually am. Catnip is done and ready for the shelf. So the way I do it is probably wrong, but it works, so you know it's right. I am going to go and kind of cut the chunk of the stems off of this instead of throwing them in the dehydrator, and then I'll just throw those back in compost. But I'm just going to kind of cut the majority of the leaves and lay them down on the trays. That might be wasteful to get rid of some of these stems, but like it saves me so much space in the dehydrator not adding these in there, so I'm not going to. The dehydrator does a really good job, so I don't need to work too hard at making everything super single layer. I just need to make sure it's flat enough to get as many rows in there as possible, honestly. Is 1 tray of basil. I'll probably fill up the whole thing with basil, honestly. So I'm just going to get it taken care of really quick and get this done 8 more times. I decided for the opal basil, I cut all the leaves off. They're obviously like 5,000 times the size of these tiny little ones, but I just cut them all off. They are all getting really wilted too. They're just so delicate from all the weather change and stuff, but I'm going to get these popped in and dehydrate these as well, and then all the basil will be done. Dehydrator is full, so I'm going to get this turned on. I'm going to do 120 for overnight, I guess. 110. I'm gonna do 110 just to be safe because they're really delicate. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is I would like to share the wealth with some of our seeds that we have. Specifically my favorite marigold seeds. So we have thousands of them, and I was thinking it might be fun to give, you know, 5 or 10 of you guys that are interested some seeds. I could send some to you. So if you are interested in getting some of our marigold seeds that we love, just shoot me an email. I will put the information in the description of this video. You can also get our email off of our page directly if you're subscribed to us. But yeah, just send me an email and let me know that you want some marigold seeds, maybe just in the subject, put seeds in there so I know, and then send me your address and I will send you some seeds if you'd like. I would be happy to share these with you guys. I was actually thinking it might be kind of nice in the near future to do some sort of Q&A and answer any questions you guys might have around the homestead. So if anyone is interested in asking us any questions that they would like considered in our Q&A that we will do in the coming weeks, go ahead and email me those as well. Feel free to shoot me an email with anything around the Q&A and email me if you want some of those marigold seeds and I will get those in the mail for you. I think that would be fun. I mean, depending on how many people respond, hopefully I can send them to everybody. But if we get a lot of responses, I will send to as many people as I can. So yeah, send us those questions and send me those seed requests. I really hope to see all you guys back here tomorrow. And don't forget 2 things. If you would like to participate in our Q&A in the coming weeks, please send us an email. I will make sure to put our information below and ask us whatever questions you're curious about the homestead, just realistically anything you'd like to know about us. Make sure you send us that email. And don't forget, I really want to share our marigold seeds with you guys. These have become my favorite flower on the homestead, and I would love to share the seeds with you. So if you're interested in getting some seeds, go ahead and send us an email as well and make sure you put seeds in the subject and give me your address, and I will try to send as many of you guys seeds as I can. So until tomorrow, guys, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your night or day whenever you see this. And don't forget our motto here at LittleVFarm, you guys. Anything grows if you try.